Good, happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. I'm Riley King. It's Sunday, February 7, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, FBI interviewed New Hampshire man who told us he chugged a glass of wine at Capitol riot. A New Hampshire man who told NBC 10 Boston last month that he drank wine he found aimed the melee at the U.S. Capitol has been interviewed by the FBI, according to a document from the agency. An FBI affidavit filed on Friday and first obtained by HuffPost said the Bureau was tipped off to Jason Ridley's activity during the Capitol riot after people shared with law enforcement an NBC 10 Boston interview in which he talked about chugging the wine. In the interview, he denounced the violence at the Capitol, but said he had no regrets. The affidavit also revealed that Ridley allegedly took a book from a Senate office and sold it outside the Capitol. In the document, the FBI agent said he found probable causes for Ridley to be charged with entering a restricted government area to impede work settling government property and stealing government property and disorderly conduct in the Capitol. It wasn't immediately clear if charges have been filed. None were available in a federal court database Friday night, and Ridley wasn't listed in a list of cases related to the Capitol breach maintained by the Department of Justice. NBC 10 Boston has reached out to the FBI for comments. Reached Friday night, Ridley wouldn't agree to an interview without conditions. Ridley's home in Keene was searched on January 22nd, just under 2 weeks after he spoke with NBC 10 Boston. According to the affidavit, it was said he was interviewed by FBI, but not placed under arrest. He did admit drinking from an open bottle of wine he found in an office before a police officer told him to leave, the affidavit said. He also allegedly took a book, like a dictionary, from the office and sold it outside the Capitol for $40. A picture included in the affidavit showed that it said Senate procedure on the front. The FBI agent who prepared the document confirmed it came from the office of the Senate Military, an official who helps interpret the body's late rules. Ridley told agency stayed in the Capitol for about 30 minutes, during which he described seeing individuals in body armor moving through the building with a sense of urgency in communicating over radios, the affidavit said. Sometime later, Ridley deleted photos, videos, and messages from his trip to Washington in what he called a delete frenzy, according to the document, but investigators found on his phone images he'd taken from inside and outside the Capitol, and also saw Ridley on surveillance footage going inside the Senate Military's office for about 4.5 minutes. The riot left 5 people dead, prompted the second impeachment of then-President Donald Trump, and has resulted in dozens of federal charges for people accused of taking part. Ridley told NBC 10 Boston last month that he understood he likely broke the law by going into the Capitol, but hadn't heard from law enforcement at that point. He called himself a military veteran and proud supporter of Trump's. Ridley said he made the trip to D.C. and took part in the pro-Trump rally that preceded the riot because he shared Trump's belief that the election results were stolen. However, all U.S. states invalidated the legitimacy of the 2020 election, and claims of voter fraud weren't proven in dozens of the court cases brought by Trump's legal team. Ridley said last month that he never expected things turn violent at the Capitol. They just broke into the building. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it was happening, he said. He took videos outside the Capitol building, then he said he followed the mob inside, where people were smashing computers and printers and breaking things and throwing papers and lamps around. When asked why he decided to go inside, he responded, "I had to see it." And when asked if he had any regrets, he said no. Aimed to the mayhem, Ridley said he found a liquor cabinet inside an office, poured himself a glass of wine, and watched it all unfold. "And I chugged it and got out of there," he said. Ridley said it was all a distraction from the message he hoped to bring to D.C. "I definitely is not what was supposed to be about. It wasn't getting anything accomplished," he said. He denounced his fellow Trump supporters who turned what he thought would be a peaceful protest into a historic assault on our government. "Those psychopaths are going around breaking things and hurting people, can rot in hell." Last month, Ridley resigned from his position as a mail carrier at the U.S. Postal Service and announced that he's running for Cheshire County Commissioner, which he's done before, according to the Sentinel source. UMass Amherst rises COVID-19 risk level, pause athletic and continuing surge in cases. As COVID-19 cases continue to surge at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, the university revealed Sunday that the campus risk level has been raised and all athletics are being paused for at least 2 weeks. Maine healthcare workers excited to fly to Super Bowl on the Patriots plane. Ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl, 4 Maine healthcare workers will be among a group traveling from New England to attend the big game, courteous of Patriots owner Robert Kraft. The Patriots owner is flying 76 fully vaccinated New England healthcare workers to Florida to watch the Kansas City Chiefs take on Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend. Police ID Hartford homicide victim. Police are investigating the death of a 28-year-old Hartford man as a homicide. Hartford police responded to Retreat Avenue at 5:44 a.m. to investigate the report of a person in the road who might have been hit by a vehicle. The victim, Clifford Byfield of Hartford, had a gunshot wound, police said. He was taken to Hartford Hospital where he was pronounced dead, police said. Police determined the incident happened on Maple Avenue. The major crime squad has been called in. Anyone with any tips is asked to call the HPD tip line at 860-722-TIPS 8477. Rhode Island eases some COVID-19 restrictions on businesses. Large weddings and other catered events are allowed again in Rhode Island as key metrics used to measure the spread of COVID-19 continue to move in the right direction, State Commission Safety Secretary said Thursday. Snowmobile fire destroys a 111-year-old covered bridge in Vermont. A fire from a broken snowmobile burned and led to the collapse of a country-old covered bridge in Vermont on Saturday morning. A group of snowmobilers had been heading across the bridge on Vixulax Road in Troy, Vermont, when one broke down midway across, according to authorities. The driver noticed flames popping out of one side of the machine and tried to use snow to put them out, but to no avail. The fire grew and catching the wood and frame of the covered bridge, which was built in 1910. The bridge eventually sustained enough fire damage that it collapsed into the Muskogee River below. It will have to be removed at a later date using heavy machinery, according to Detective Sergeant Todd Ambers of the Department of Public Safety and Fire and Explosive Investigation Unit. Biden ending deals with Central America restriction asylum. The Biden administration is withdrawing the U.S. from agreements with 3 Central American countries that restricted the ability of people seeking asylum at the southwest border, part of the border effort to undo the immigration policies of President Donald Trump. And let's take a quick look at your weather right now. And we can tell you, happening right now, it is snowing and it is 26 degrees right now. And that does it for this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your afternoon. See you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.